Hello everyone, it's Catherine Missel here, Ascending Earth Creatrix, Intuitive Energy Healer. Hello. I wanted to talk really quickly about something that I think will be helpful to you because it's very grounding in this time of very, very intense celestial energies, and we're still coming off the energy of the full moon, and we are feeling the Lion's Gate portal rearing up and roaring. We are feeling Mercury Retrograde. It's powerful, it's palpable, it's tangible, it's intense. And who couldn't use some grounding during this time, right? So I want to talk about something that is an energy I've been playing with quite a bit lately, which is Crone Woman, Crone Wisdom energy. And this is something that I feel is very out of balance for women at this time. There's a great deal of emphasis placed on youth. There is even a good amount of emphasis being placed on being the mother, being the custodian, being responsible for others. Maybe sometimes we take this a little too much to the extreme. We go into over-mothering. And not that mothering is bad, but sometimes we are so attached to the healing of others, we become a little too mothering. There is not enough emphasis, in my opinion, when you're talking about the triple goddess of maiden, mother, and crone, that not nearly enough emphasis or attention is given to crone energy. And there's reasons that I feel very strongly about why this is. We certainly have this aesthetic around the crone as being the hag or the withered old woman who doesn't have a place anymore in society. She's literally left to wither and shrivel up and die. And there is a reason that there is this assignation given to crone women in society, and it's because if you diminish or take away the light, you take away the wisdom or the knowledge from such a potent and powerful and intense energy, then you take away all of the power of the crone, right? If you paint the crone in a light of being frail, having outlived her use, having no place in society anymore, almost to the point of wiping her out and being invisible, then she certainly has no power, does she? But here's what I happen to believe about Crone Woman, about Crone Wisdom energy, and an energy I've been tapping into quite a bit recently, is that there is incredible depths of wisdom and knowledge to be gleaned from Crone Woman. Crone Woman is a woman that has a life well lived under her belt. She has a life that is rich with experience, with stories. Literally, Crone Woman is equipped with a tapestry woven of all of her stories and experiences, feelings, beliefs, notions, relationships, her connection with not only other people but with Mother Earth herself. There is an incredible amount of wisdom that Crone Woman has to impart and share with us at this time if we have ears to listen, if we have a heart to open up to her. And we are being called, believe me, we are being called very strongly by Crone Woman because she is so in tune with and aligned with the oldest, deepest realms of knowledge inherent in Mother Earth herself that we can't help but gain a more powerful connection with Mother Earth when we tap into Crone Woman energy. And one of the reasons, or one of the ways that we can tap into and align ourselves with Mother Earth is through transmuting the sacred elements. And if you think of the sacred elements as forming a holy quadrant, let's just say. If you think of Mother Earth herself as not only having earth energy, we represent earth energy with all the elements, but you have earth that's assigned to the direction of north. You have air that is assigned to the direction of east. You have fire, which is assigned to the direction of south. And you have water, which is assigned to the direction of west. If you think about traveling in a circle, it completes a cycle, doesn't it? And we understand very keenly as women what cycles are all about. We understand, maybe not on a conscious level, but on an unconscious level, the spiral, the goddess spiral of energy. And we can either ascend in this goddess spiral of energy, understanding the cycle of our experiences, our feelings, our beliefs, our behaviors, but we can also have a descending downward spiral of energy. And I do have that to share on my podcast if you want to understand more about the descending downward spiral, and specifically Kali helps us understand the descending downward goddess spiral. If you want more information on that, I can share that with you. But we understand as women cycles, spirals, very, very keenly. It's no mistake that the symbol of the spiral is assigned to goddess energy. And it's no mistake that we are kind of the deliberator over cycles in life. As women, we are the ones who are in charge of knowing everyone's birthdays or anniversaries or milestones in people's lives. And it's something that's very, very inherent in our cellular programming, in our DNA, to understand the cycles of life and to celebrate them and be the ones that are the custodians of these special events and gathering people together to celebrate these events. This is something that seems so trivial in modern day society, but it's actually something that's so inherent and part of our innate wisdom as women to preserve cycles, to understand that things go through a constant cycle of birth and rebirth, renewal. And one of the ways we intuitively and innately understand that is through the sacred elements. So when, for instance, we are celebrating and honoring and being a steward of the sacred element, and maybe even transmuting the sacred element of air, we are working directly with the direction east, and we are working with this sacred communion with the divine, understanding our sacred communion with the divine, that we are one with the divine, and honoring that sacred connection. It's about accessing the fullness of the divine that is within, of our innate divine, and accessing also the silent knowledge of this inner God, goddess that lives within, the balance of God, goddess energies that lives within. And in this silent knowledge, that's where we really celebrate the Crone Wisdom energy, because it's this full acceptance of the blessing, of the spaces in between, of life's pauses, of the times of silence, where we're really gathering all of the arsenal, all of our resources and tools that we have been gifted to us from a life well lived, all the experiences. Only in these moments of silent knowledge, these pauses, the spaces in between, do we give ourselves the time to gather the arsenal of those tools and resources, and to be able to use that to open up and unfold into greater levels of wisdom. When we work with fire, when we work with and transmute the sacred element of fire, we are working directly with the energy of the self. And this is where we accept that we are merging who we have been with who we are becoming. Merging who we have been with who we are now in the present and who we are becoming. What greater levels of knowledge, of wisdom is unfolding. It's where we access more of our will, our personal power, and our hunger for moving into greater levels of knowledge in our life, and embracing that fully. And that can only come with age. That can really only come with the wisdom of a life well lived, and all of a life well lived that is rich with the experience of different relationships, situations, things that have unfolded for us. When we work with earth and we are transmuting the sacred element of earth, we are working intimately with the direction of the north. This is our winter, this is our retreat, but it is also where we truly acknowledge our oneness with and our stewardship of Mother Earth, where we honor that each beat of our heart is really a shared resonance with the signature and the rhythm of Mother Earth, of the inner phases of the inner planets and the inner, not planets, inner planes of Gaia. And it really is this beautiful integration. We work with Earth as the element. It's a beautiful integration of being fully grounded in the Divine Mother. And this is something that also happens as we become older. We understand the rhythms of the Earth herself. And such an intuitive, such a keen inner level of knowing, of feeling, of sensing, and seeing. And when we work with water in the West, and we transmute the sacred element of water, we are coming into more empathy, where we have greater levels of empathic healing for our own selves, not only for those of us who are spiritual way showers, light bearers, who are working to empathically heal others, but we have greater levels of empathic healing within that we access when we work with and transmute the sacred element of water. We understand flow in a way that is beyond the intellect. We understand flow with the higher mind. We understand compassion. We understand connection and what true connection is. It is where we come into having this full integration of all these elements, a greater level of self-expression, because we no longer have any fears wrapped up in who's going to see me and who's going to judge me and why. We come into our full inner truth, and we embrace this with every fiber of our being. So this is something we are working with very, very intimately in one of the days of the Crone Wisdom course that I'm offering. And so starting on August 6th, which is next Monday, that will be our first day of the class. We're working with our innate Crone Wisdom energy. And it's really, really, if you are resonating with what I'm saying, it's really an invitation from Crone Goddess, Crone Woman herself, to invite in more of your truth of who you are, to illuminate your true self, coming into full power. And through understanding some of the things that we're talking about in this 7-day intensive, we're looking at body image, we're looking at lack mentality, we are looking at healthy boundaries, we are looking at what is self-possession, what is true self-possession, that kind of knowing your truth and value and being able to express that and communicate it, fully embody it like a beacon to others, making friends with shadow, transmuting the sacred elements, which is what I just talked about, and accessing your inner warrior. Through the exploration of these topics, we're able to get a really good glimpse of what Crone Woman looks like and feels like. And I wanted to take this talk a little bit further by sharing with you one of my favorite things that I've recorded, which is the Shamanic Reiki Medicine Wheel and Healing Journey, to help you understand what it feels like to work with this level of wisdom and knowledge, to work with this level of earth connection, to work with the elements in a very intimate way with this sacred healing journey. So I'm sharing this with you here, and I'm going to put it in here. It is on my podcast. Hi, Becky. It is on my podcast, The Abundant Intuitive. So if you like what I'm talking about here, and I'm going to share this also, even though I'm almost finished with my talk. If you like what I'm talking about here and it makes sense and it hits you in a very, very deep place within you to want to learn more about how to work intimately with transmuting the sacred elements, check out this podcast, this audio podcast, because If you like that, you're going to really like Crone Goddess energy. You're going to really glean the most information and download the most wisdom from what Crone Woman has to share with you at this time. This is, every month I try to offer a very high value, but very low investment course. So this is the next one I'm offering. So it's 7 days talking about all the topics I just shared with you. The only day we don't meet for class is on August 9th, but we will meet on August 6th, 7th, 8th, the 10th, 11th, 12th, and 13th for covering all 7 of these topics, one of them being transmuting the sacred elements. So I invite you to join me. It's going to be really fun. It's going to be full of information. It's going to be full of wisdom. We're going to be doing energy activations. I'm going to be offering some mindset shifting perspectives and insights, and sharing some action steps, ways that you can create behaviors that helps you to embody more of Crone Wisdom energy and to honor this aspect of our divine feminine, really. And probably the most discounted aspect of our divine feminine, to be perfectly honest with you, and that's too bad. But we can shift that. We can change that. So if this speaks to you and hits you in all the feels, I invite you to come join us. All the sessions will be live on Zoom, and there will be recordings of every single day of the class. And your investment is only $149. So come and join us if you like, and thanks for watching, and I will see you soon. Bye-bye.